Access granted.
Charlie, Hotel, Alpha, Oscar, Sierra.
What's up, my friends? I realized I still didn't set the little glitch thing like I was supposed to do last time. But hey, what's happening? Welcome to Chaos Live. We're here to hang out, answer some questions, do an hour-long-ish live stream, answer whatever questions you guys have. If you have questions, leave them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer the ones I can. Sometimes it jumps around, depends on how the flow of the chat kind of goes to see if, you know, it gets a little crazy, and sometimes I have to jump around a little bit. But hey, guess what? If I missed your question in the live stream, just hit me up on Instagram. I have links down in the description box down below for my social media. Hit me up on Instagram, send me a message, ask me a question, and I'll be able to get to you right away. I think we're starting off already with a super chat, unless our lights are glitching. Now we got Holy Hand Grenade. I'm free. Holy Hand Grenade is free from the army, my friends. He is now a member of the DD-214 alumni, as Holy Hand Grenade is now out of the army. Thanks, man, for the super chat. You rock. Who do we got from, let's see, Notification Platoon wise? Notification Platoon, early individuals. We got Edward, we got Zachy, we got Eric, we've got Evie, we've got Stealth Sniper, we got Bree, got another super chat. We got VGMR, one of our Chaos Army commanders, as well as Crispin Vega, Jack, TFR60, Bit Expert, Allens, Varj, I don't know, Vraj, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Kyle, Metalhead Gamer, Dino or Dino. Then we got, let's see what we got super chat wise. VGMR dropping a super chat. Got to feature it up here. Where is it at? It was bam. Boy, Hand Grenade is free. Finally a part of the DD-214 alumni. Free from the army. Thanks, VGMR, for the super chat. We got another super chat. Man, you guys kicking it off with super chats left and right. Another one from Joe. You ever get to see Camp, what was it, Aubrey, it was Indiana, when you were in the army? I did not. I don't think, is that even an installation that's even still open? Doesn't even sound like an installation that's still open, I don't think. But no, I don't think I've ever even been to anything that sounds close to that. No, sorry, but thanks for the super chat. You rock, you're awesome. All right, so we're gonna go through. Let's see which kind of questions you guys have as far as army, whatever the case might be. Kind of get things going. Mini Chaos and Mrs. Chaos are doing great. They're out upstairs hanging out, having a good old time. Lag? Is there lag from like your stream or my stream, or oh, was it lag from the super chat? Is that what you're talking about? Alan graduated from high school today. Well, good luck to you. Good deal. Hopefully, cool stuff are to come. Are you also accepting Navy, Marines, and Air Force DD-214? Sure. I mean, it's any branch of the military, really. Ellis shipping off to basic training this Monday. Man, that's right around the corner. Good luck to you. Hopefully, it all works out well, and hopefully everything is awesome. I want to be in the military, but I don't know exactly what branch I want to go into. A lot of it just comes down to talking to different recruiters, right? Some of the good things is like the Army, you can pretty much pick your MOS as long as you qualify for it and it's eligible or it's available, then you can pick it. Where other branches doesn't get you that same kind of like dialed in kind of way. They have ways you can kind of get close to that by like, you know, scoring really well on certain things, and you can kind of pick the branch, but not the same way the Army does it. But a lot of it just comes down to doing your research, talk to the different recruiters. What do you want to do, and trying to, you know, who can offer you what you want to do, that kind of stuff. So kind of comes down to it that way. Who's Bishop Garrison, and what does he do? I don't know who Bishop Garrison is. What's usually the earliest time someone in the barracks can have visitors? 6, I think. I don't know if they usually don't have really early. I mean, I would say probably around 6. I mean, if you really wanted to have someone come visit you at 6 o'clock in the morning, they probably wouldn't care. It's usually a lot of times just trying to prevent people from spending the night. I mean, there's ways around that very easily to, you know, get away with, you know, someone spending the night. But I don't think they usually have like a set morning time, because I don't think they really. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I haven't really seen some of the current ones, but probably I would say probably roughly around like 6 or 7. That's like on the weekends or whatever. If it's like a work day, then it's kind of tough because you're gonna be at work, so it's hard to have visitors anyway. So. We're saying remind soldiers to notify their banks when they're sent overseas. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're in the middle, you're getting like deployed somewhere, then yeah, you want to let them know so that way they don't think it's being used improperly. What was my MOS? I was at 88, Mike. It's in my channel about stuff. Come on now. Simple question. Let's see. Dino says, you think the Army is going soft or just adapting to change? It's more adapting to change. Because, I mean, like, people are complaining about, like, you know, the ACFT, which I think the ACFT is harder than the APFT. You only have 3 events. Super easy. Push-ups, sit-ups, and 2-mile run. You're done. Now you got to do all these other events. People are, like, you know, complaining about that. So I think that's good. There's certain other things you just got to adapt to the times. You know, you can't, you know, plus you got to think of it also, too, is they're trying to make it interesting to some people, right? They're finding, obviously, that, you know, certain maybe things that people thought were hardcore of the old school Army, well, guess what? That doesn't retain soldiers. That's why you have a large turnover rate of soldiers only doing 4 years, 6 years, and getting out of the Army and not staying in. So they're trying to adapt to try to get people to stay in. I mean, they're not adapting to the point of, like, making everything lazy or anything, I don't feel like. But, yeah, you have to adapt to change. You got to adapt to ways that'll kind of you know, promote people to want to stay in the Army, but obviously not slack too much to where you end up with like a crappy Army or something like that. What are your opinion on Fort Huachuca, Arizona, going to be there for 8 to 9 months? You going there for AIT? I've never been to Fort Huachuca. I've been to Arizona. Arizona, I don't mind. I like Arizona. It's cool, I guess. But I've never been to Fort Huachuca, so I really couldn't tell you. I don't know really what's around the area. I've heard cool stuff about Fort Huachuca, though. But I think I've also heard some people say crappy stuff. But that's any Army post. So I couldn't really give you a very good opinion on Fort Huachuca because I've never been there. How much work have you done with other branches of the military? Not a whole lot. I mean, a little, real little bit with Marines and a real little bit of Air Force. I don't think I've ever worked with any Navy individuals. And then no like Coast Guard or anything like that. But yeah, not a whole lot. I mean, you know, it's not really a common thing. I mean, there's probably certain MOSs that it is more common with, but not every MOS, you know, will have a lot of interaction. Navy CB alumni here. Hey, this still counts. Let's see. What is the #1 common mistake that soldiers do at basic that can be easily avoided? I asked because I ship on the 1st. I mean, there's quite a few. I actually have a video on 5 common mistakes that people make in basic training. I'd say definitely check that out. But I mean, I think I mentioned in there, you know, calling people by the wrong rank, right? You call the drill sergeant or sir or something. I mean, they're gonna find something wrong with you because they're intentionally trying to put you under pressure. But I've seen that where they'll kind of mess up calling like a drill sergeant sir. But I have a video on that. I can't remember off the top of my head what I mentioned in there. There were good things. But look for that video. I have a video on like 5 common mistakes that new soldiers make in basic training or something. I forget how it's titled. Got Mike is a 68 whiskey in the Army. Awesome. If we have anybody that needs IVs, make sure you guys hit up Mike so that we can get you guys hooked up. Make sure you guys stay hydrated. All fun stuff. Awesome. We got Joe, who's a 12 November in our reserve. This is 12 November. Is that like an engineer, right? Or something like that? I can't remember off the top of my head. Can't believe there's so many people out there who absolutely lose their mind over the ponytail. Yeah, a lot of people are losing their mind over the relaxation of allowing females to have ponytails. Keep in mind, they're not allowed to have ponytails in the field or in a combat zone. In garrison, who the hell cares? I mean, some people are making the argument of like, oh, it doesn't look very professional. It's like, it's a ponytail. What do you want? You want females to start shaving their heads and stuff like that too? Who cares? It's a ponytail, right? They're not gonna, like, I remember, like, I think I even mentioned in that video too, where people were like, oh yeah, the enemy could just grab onto that ponytail and stuff. They're not supposed to be wearing ponytails in combat zones, so that's not a thing. No. But yeah, I mean, that's, I think, one of the key things too is, like, it sucks, right, that, a lot of the new things they're coming out with are all like female driven, but I personally think is what they're trying to do is they're trying to promote women to want to stay in the military, because I think there's a high turnover rate for women in the Army, and so that's why there's huge portion of men in the Army and only a small percentage of females when you compare it, really. And I think they're trying to promote women to want to be in the military and want to stay in the military, and so they're probably relaxed on some of these things. Maybe if they had something similar with men, then maybe they would start changing some stuff, and maybe hopefully they will at some point in time with certain things. Maybe, I mean, the beards would really look cool. There's no real reason why people need beards. It would be cool to have. The hair thing was more about, like, women were having receding hairlines because their hair is always pulled tight on a daily basis in the Army, so it was kind of messing up their hairlines and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. We got where was that? Bit Expert upgraded. I don't think it will show up on here. I think it shows up on this little thing, a little feature thing. But thanks, Bit Expert, for upgrading your Chaos Elite membership to Elite Troop Commander. It means I got to add your name down to the bottom down there. Should I try to? Let me see if I can do it real quick on the fly. Should be able to. Let's edit that on the fly, since we got Bit Expert that's joined to be a commander. If any of you guys want to join the members, you can become Chaos Elite. There's the very lowest tier, which helps support the channel, and you get the little rank next to your icon, next to your name, and I usually try to reply to you guys first in the comments if you have questions, kind of a thing. And then, you can go up from there if you want. It's cool. It's super cheap if you wanted to, $1.99 a month if you wanted to be just to support the channel a little bit and get a cool little rank next to your name, or you can go all the way up to Commander and get your name featured down here and get some extra perks in the Discord channel and all sorts of stuff. Let's see. Let me add Bit Expert here, though. Bam, and then I gotta go. Oops. Oh, we got a super chat. Hang on. Let me modify this. The Bit Expert is in here. All right. I didn't even check to make sure some of these people are still commanders. I usually check that before the streams, and I forgot to do that this morning or today. Earlier today. We got a super chat. Super chat from Joe. Thanks for the super chat, man. 12 November, horizontal construction engineer, heavy construction equipment operator, operate loaders, scrapers, dozers, backhoe loaders, etc. Awesome. So you're the go-to guy when we need fighting positions, so that we don't have to. I mean, I don't have to do that, but you're 11 Bravo guys and certain other people. But the go-to person to try to be friends with, so that way you're not killing yourself digging a foxhole or digging a fighting position. You get the hookup from this individual to dig the fighting position for you, and then you improve it to make it, awesome and camouflaged and all that kind of stuff like that. So become friends with engineers, especially if you're going to be infantry, because maybe you can get the hookup and you don't have to sit there and dig a fighting position by hand. You can go and do it that way. Get your awesome 12 Novembers to come dig the fighting position for you. Thanks for the super chat, Joe. What's with the Marines calling their DIs sir? but Army soldiers only calling them drill sergeants. I don't know. I don't know like why with the, like if there's like a real reason behind that. But yeah, in the Marines they do that. They call the drill sergeants sir. You know, where Army calls them drill sergeants and everything like that. So I don't know what the meaning of that actually is behind or why. Could you do a video on the new blended retirement plan? Because I was looking into it and it's confusing. Does it replace the TSP or is the TSP still going to be there? Yeah, I don't know all of the stuff. I would have to really research it a little bit better to have a better explanation as to how the current version of like the retirement stuff works. I know it's not, the only thing I really know about it, it's not like the old way of doing it where it was you know, once you did your 20 plus years retired, you immediately started getting your retirement money. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it's not like that anymore. Now, if you do the 20 plus years and retire, you have to wait until you're 60 or 65 before you can start receiving that. So it's not as cool as it used to be. I don't know if that's, I don't know all the facts on it though. So I can't really put together a good, accurate video probably too well just yet. What is it? Drill sergeants are like parents. They are your leader, not your friend. It's true. I mean, they're not there to be your friend. They're gonna yell at you. They're gonna do all sorts of crazy stuff. So, yeah, it's tough, tough times. Finally submitted my medical info. Hopefully waivers get approved. Good luck to you. Hopefully all goes well for you, Justin. Let me scroll down some here. I'm a 92 Fox right now, but I want to switch to a 12 series. Oh, you know anything about 12 series? I don't. But what was the earlier Joe, right? Joe's the guy. If you guys don't know, go to join the Discord channel. I don't know if Joe or if Nilly Newport is a member of the Discord channel, but the link is down below. It's a free thing, right? You join the Discord channel and you interact with the people and everything. You can try to find people that are in the MWest that maybe you want to and see if they can, you know, give you some cool insight to that MWest, right? And maybe if Joe wants to join the Discord and Neely wants to join the Discord and Joe could tell you all about being a 12 November. There you go. We got super chat though. Gimme 335 says thoughts on Supply Guys. It's a good job. I didn't pop up your name. Let me see. There we go. Your thoughts on Supply Guys. It's a, you know, you work in a warehouse, you work in a supply room, you're doing inventories a lot. Sometimes they're also the armor. It depends sometimes on what MOSs are slotted for that unit. Sometimes you actually have like what Holy Hand Grenade was, where he repairs weapons. Sometimes those people are the armor. And sometimes you just have 92 Yankees be the armor. It just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, it could be a good job for like working in that kind of like a supply type of, you know, thing. I think all the people that I knew that did that in the Army didn't do anything related to supply when they got out. Like one's a nurse. Another one I think is going to school right now because he just recently got out. I can't remember some of the other ones, but yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess everybody makes it when they want to make out of it. Probably the inventory is probably the worst part. Let's see. I need to have the music back probably in the background. What do we got here? If you're deployed, would they allow you to go back to the U.S. for a direct family member's wedding? Not just specifically for that. I mean, if you plan it, like usually on deployments, depending on how long the deployment is, there might be time in there where you get a little bit of a vacation type of thing. And you might get like 15 days. And if you plan it around that time and you got approved for that time, then that's your one time you get to kind of go home from that deployment. But otherwise, it's not just like a special thing of like being like, yeah, I got a wedding coming up and I want to go back for that. No. So that kind of comes down to it that way. We got a super chat from Holy Hand Grenade. Holy Hand Grenade dropped another super chat. 91 Fox as an armor. That's a no-no. Conflict of interest. I thought there was some people that end up being armors for 91 Foxes. I know most of the people that I knew that were armors were like 92 Yankees. So they'd be the supply people working in the arms room. But I don't know. Okay. I mean, good to know. Good to know. Seems like it'd be convenient though. I mean, you just sit there and repair the weapons and work their arms through. I don't know, man. um, what do I know about being enlisted and then going to West Point? I think you can do it that way. I mean, that'd be probably really tough. You're talking about like going to Green to Gold and then going to West Point? I don't know if that. I don't know. I feel like that'd be very difficult because most of the people that go to West Point, you know, they're like right out of high school, going to the 4-year college. They got approved to go to it. They had really great grades in high school to get nominated to go to West Point in the first place. So I don't know how well that works out because West Point is the like Harvard of the Army, right? So this is where the really well educated officers go for their officer training before they come into the Army to be an officer. So this is like the elite individuals. So it's not easy. You have to be smart. You have to be recommended. You have to get someone like from like a senator or congressman to nominate you and all that stuff. So it's tough. So I wouldn't imagine it would be very easy, if possible. I don't know, to go from being an enlisted soldier to all of a sudden going to West Point for the Green to Gold program. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's possible, but I would imagine if it is possible, it'd be extremely hard to pull something off like that. Oh, what are you trying to say here? You and Jesse ever gonna marry? Maybe. You know, we're taking things slow. You know, we don't want to rush into things. You know, we've been together for 8, almost 9 years now, coming up in 9 years. I think is the next anniversary. You know, we got our daughter that's about to turn 4. You know, we're just taking things slow, right? Just feeling things out, making sure that this is right. We're rushing to a kind of marriage or anything like that. So how it goes. I like the advice here from King David. It's kind of, you remember, it's kind of, it doesn't show the correct icon inside of here, but anyways, never have your girlfriend send you pictures of basic. Everybody will see them. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times too, you'll have the drill sergeants make you open up the packages in front of them, or letters sometimes in front of them too. So that's pretty tough. And yeah, if they send you something that's too personal, contraband wise or whatever, then you don't want to be opening that stuff in front of the drill sergeants. So I definitely would not recommend. Make sure to let them know, right? So you might have buddies that want to send you some stuff, and you're like, oh man, we got Barbara in the house. I don't think I've ever seen you in one of my live streams, Barbara. Thank you for coming to hang out and dropping by. The little cool little widget thing doesn't show emojis, but thank you. Thanks, Barbara. I'm gonna hang out in Chaos Live. Is this your first Chaos Live drop in? Appreciate you. What's stricter and harder on someone? Basic training or deployments? Deployments. I mean, you're gone. I mean, especially like you're gone for like 15 months, 12 months. It depends on, the length of it, where you're going to, especially if it's a combat deployment. Man, I mean, I felt like especially like my last combat deployment when I went to Iraq the second time, that was 15 months. That was way rougher than basic training. So, like if you're talking about like just a training deployment, like you go to Germany for a training deployment, you go to was it I forget some of the other common places you go to. Those ones aren't bad. Those ones can be pretty cool and you get to see some stuff. But combat deployments compared to basic training, yeah, definitely. Would you recommend split option for someone in high school to help pay their college? I mean, it wouldn't make a difference for paying for college. I mean, because your split option is really just between your junior year and senior year of high school, you go off to basic training, and then you're kind of like doing some stuff with like a local reserve unit to kind of keep you active a little bit. And then after you graduate high school, then you go off to your AIT, and then your active duty or reserves or whatever you're doing. The college is going to be the same, whether you're doing split ops or not doing split ops, and you just go off to basic training after you graduate high school. So I don't really feel like it would kind of make a difference for college because you're not going to get a chance to like go to college and then go back into the Army unless you're going to try to do your Army reserves. I don't think I'll enlist in the Army specifically, but I love the streams and videos. Well, cool. Thanks for coming to hang out. I still appreciate you, regardless. Wait, let me see. Oh, you've got to tell me what that chat widget is. I want to use it. So, Barbara, I remember I was asking you about it, right? I was trying to figure it out, trying to find a good way to do it. So I had inside the Discord channel of mine, I created a bounty, and I was like, hey, if someone can find me a great way to do this, which is what I want to do in my live streams, I will reward you with an Amazon gift card. And then we got, he's probably in the chat, probably still right now, Zachy. Zachy created it. He has a background or has been learning how to program and how to do things. So he just built the widget. I know it's a little side project of his. I don't know if it's something he plans on one day releasing. I told him he should make it like a cool little, you know, like a Patreon type of thing. Like maybe you subscribe for $1 a month or whatever, and then you get access to the widget. But Zachy in the chat somewhere, maybe he's in here, created this widget for me where it's connected to my Google and it comes up on my screen and I choose which comment come up on here. So it was a pretty custom thing that I had to recruit somebody to build for me. And there you go. Yeah, Zachy VT, he created it. So he created this widget to make it work out for me. So if Zachy VT decides to ever make it public, I'll have to let you know. So that way maybe you can jump in on that. Good evening, Chris. Love the channel. Well, thanks. Appreciate you. Depending on your status and how long you've been enlisted, you can go U.S. Maps. I don't know what's U.S. Maps. Well, I don't know what that is. What's better graphics, Battlefield or Call of Duty? I don't know. They're pretty close. Probably Call of Duty has better graphics, but I really like how Battlefield does like their where you can blow out the walls and destruction, stuff like that. I wish Call of Duty would do that. What would you have to say about Fort Riley? Well, not good things. Not good things. Especially, you can talk to Holy Hand Grenade. Holy Hand Grenade in the chat here was recently stationed at Fort Riley, so he would have a way better recent perspective on Fort Riley. But when I was in Fort Riley, it was in the early 2000s. I was only in Fort Riley from 2000 to 2002, and I hated it. Mainly the reason why I hated Fort Riley was there wasn't a lot to do in that area. Unless you loved hunting and fishing, that's probably it. Outside of that, there's not a lot to do beyond hunting and fishing. So I don't like Fort Riley, but Holy Hand Grenade could probably tell you all about it. Is 27 Delta a relative easy job? I don't even know what a 27 Delta is. Just hit me up with some of these MOSs that I don't even know what they are off the top of my head. Oh man, we got German. I'm currently at hotel for MEPS tomorrow, doing 13 Juliet. Well, good luck to you. Good luck going to MEPS. Hopefully all goes well. Did you already lock in 13 Juliet? Hopefully, if you're hoping for it, then hopefully you get it. Hopefully it goes well. Do you think having asthma as a kid, asthma below the age of 13, but not after 13, have a factor on enlisting? No. In that video that I did on what like disqualifies you from joining the Army, I talked about asthma in there, and I forget what the requirement was. There was a certain thing where if you have not been diagnosed with, I think it's past 16, then they don't care, and you're good to go as long as you don't currently have asthma and you're not currently being treated for it. But I'm not a doctor, so I always say consult with like the MEPS doctors or a recruiter to ask about those kind of things. But I'm thinking no. I think you probably would be fine, because I think it's I think in that video I think I said after 16. Does the First Amendment apply to soldiers? Heard you can't say anything political while in service. There's gray area. I will say that there is some gray area with something like, say, like the First Amendment, right, in being in the Army, because they kind of look at it as, you know, if you say something that can look negatively against the United States Army, the government, the United States, or whatever, then that's bad. There's some gray area with that. Politics, I will say that politics is a tough one for the military, where you can't really, you can kind of like, you can vote, obviously, you know, and you can't really like campaign for a specific politician or anything, but you know, make it look like you're like, with it being known you're in the army, right? You can't be like in uniform saying, and I put out a video saying, I want this person to be president, I want this person to be governor, whatever the case is. And that kind of gets tricky. If you do it in civilian clothes and don't really associate yourself with the army, then you can kind of do that. It gets really tricky. There's a lot of gray area with a lot of that stuff, so it's a tough thing. It's pretty tough. What do you call a 7-star general? I mean, is there a 7-star general? I think there's like a 7-star general, right? I think isn't that what they did with the Washington, just for the hell of it all? I don't know. I don't think that's a thing though. Can't believe you don't even get Christmas or Thanksgiving off when you're deployed. No, you don't get any days off when you're deployed. You'll be lucky. Like, you might get a day off because you're on mission all night and you have some time to kind of recover from that. But yeah, like when I was deployed both times to Iraq, Christmas, Thanksgiving, the only thing you got really was cool, really good food in the chow hall. Beyond that, it wasn't anything crazy. You didn't get the day off, nothing. So that's all you'll get, is like a special meal in the chow hall. And then that's assuming you're even on a installation or a FOB or a base or whatever that actually has a nice chow hall. Because if you're at one of those more remote COPs, the combat outpost, then you're getting food delivered to you, and it's not quite as good as actually getting it from the dining facility. Then it still depends on where you're at too. Yeah. So you got to be careful that nothing you say is taken as an endorsement of the armies and bad news. Yeah, it gets really tricky when you get politics with people in the military and everything, because there's certain things you can do, certain things you can't do, and it gets tough. So it's a very thin line. What jobs can an infantryman get when they get out of the army? There's actually a lot of people that I know that, you know, just having that military background, right? They don't necessarily directly translate being infantry in the army to a civilian job. It's just the fact that they have that military experience, that military background. So they know that hopefully this person is well disciplined, they'll show up on time, they'll be eager to learn, and all sorts of other things. So like, I work with people that were 11 Bravos in the army, and they're instructors now, right? Not teaching infantry related things, but just because they had a military background, or they're tech people or whatever. So if you wanted something that directly translates from infantry to the civilian world, then sometimes people do get into law enforcement, get into security, certain other things maybe, but a lot of times really any MOS you do, just simply having that on your resume that you have X amount of years in the military sometimes helps you out with jobs, just regardless of what your MOS was. Thoughts on Fort Carson? I love Fort Carson. That is why when I got out of the army, I stayed in this area, and I work currently on Fort Carson training soldiers. So I love Fort Carson. It's great. It's amazing. And that was, I would probably vote, in my personal opinion, Fort Carson is the best installation to be stationed at. But when I did my video on the top 5 installations to be stationed at, I put Germany on there, because most people I talked to about places they've been stationed, they said Germany was the best. So that's why I was on there. But of places I've been to, Fort Carson's great. I love Fort Carson. Kind of jobs is there for auto mechanic in the army? There's wheeled mechanic, there's tank mechanics, there's several mechanics. So you can be a wheeled mechanic. What is that, the 89 Bravo? I don't remember off the top of my head. But if you look up wheeled vehicle mechanic, Army MOS, it'll pop up. That's an MOS you could do in the army, and you could work on trucks. Does National Guard pay for PhD or doctorate degree? If you're talking about the GI Bill, no. GI Bill only give you 4 years of college for the GI Bill. If you're trying to go more than GI Bill, then you know you could, if you qualify for folk rehab, meaning you have like some disability from the Army, you know, you got some kind of VA rating from the Army, then that can allow you to end up possibly go into higher education type of stuff. But solely off of the GI Bill only pays for 4 years of college, so you would not be able to do that. And then if you're also currently in the military, like on the reserves or National Guard, and you're trying to do tuition assistance, I don't think they'll cover for that much. We got super chat. Scroll down. It's not popping up on our screen, so I'm not sure which one is a super chat. Holy hand grenade with a super chat. Remember, when you get out, don't expect employers to hand you a job. Present yourself well in an interview, write a good civilianized resume, and you'll have a better chance. Yeah. I mean, yeah, just being military alone isn't like a guarantee type of thing. I mean, it's a nice thing that helps. Some employers put that above other people because certain employers will get that special, I forget what it's called, but there's a specific term for it, of having that veteran preference kind of a thing where employers are kind of rewarded for hiring military veterans over non-military veterans, in certain cases. But yeah, definitely it's all about, you know, having a good resume, showing yourself to be loyal, to be reliable, all that kind of fun stuff. I got, you know, with my job, I got lucky because I knew someone that was already working there. So I kind of got an inside kind of person, and they kind of hooked it up. So we got another super chat. Super chat VGMR. Use VA to help you build a resume and make connections. They can't. Does the VA do that? I don't remember there being anywhere inside the VA. I know like the education center will do that kind of a thing. Does DAV? I think the Department of, or the whatever DAV stands for, Army. I don't remember, but the DAV I think will do that kind of stuff. I don't remember the VA, but they could. It could be a possibility. I just always think of the VA as like medical related type of things, but I mean, it could be a thing. But yeah, I mean, even when you get out, you do these ACAP classes. This is what they're called. They're called ACAP. And that's like the process of getting out of the Army. And usually in that process is somewhere's in there, usually a resume writing class. So that way they kind of give you tips and pointers on how to write a resume and do that stuff. I see VGMR says VA helped me make my resume. Well, that's cool then. Yeah, I don't know if the one in Colorado Springs has that kind of a service, because the only VA office they really have is the medical clinic, and there's nowhere in the medical clinic where I could think of where you could go be able to do that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, I guess that could be a thing. But yeah, just make sure you take advantage of all those kind of little classes when people are getting out of the Army, and to get that kind of going. What on Fort Carson do you train soldiers? I teach JCR, JBCP, and then sometimes a few other classes, but my primary classes that I teach is the JCR system and the JBCP system. So if your leadership sends you to go, because I see another comment said, yeah, I'm stationed at Fort Carson now. So if your leadership sends you to go learn how to use JCR or JBCP, depending on which version of the system your unit has, I might be your instructor, or one of my other guys might be your instructor. Right now, I'm not doing that because we're getting ready for a big exercise coming up, so I'm preparing for some of that kind of stuff. But then later in the year, we'll be back to teaching those classes. So if you are taking part in an upcoming exercise on Fort Carson, I might be there. You might see me at the Mission Training Complex. What is my favorite thing on an Army base? I don't know if I have a favorite thing. I mean, the PX is cool, right? It's convenient to utilize. I don't know if I have a favorite thing. I don't know. What kind of housing do commissioned officers receive? Example, a second lieutenant. Yeah, I mean, all officers, when they start off, they're usually, if they're doing on-post housing, they're usually nice places. They're usually like a nice little 1 or 2 bedroom little home kind of a thing. And then you can choose not to even live on base, and you can still live off base too, because officers get paid BAH. So they get that extra allowance in their paycheck to allow them to, pay rent or whatever off base. So whatever your BAH can afford. You can always look it up to get an idea of what kind of apartment, home, or whatever you could rent. If you go online and you look up BAH rates, you usually have to enter a zip code for like somewhere you're stationed at. So if you like have an idea of like where you'd like to be stationed at, or just plug in a place out of curiosity, and then you'll see by rank like what the BAH rate is, and you kind of get an example of how much you'd possibly be making in BAH to be able to use for paying for that kind of a thing. Remember your humanity in and out of the military as well. It goes a long way in all walks of life. That's with anybody, right? Just be a good person. It's easy. Well, I mean, for some people it's not easy, I guess, but should be. Be a good person. Be a good person, and that'll go a long ways if you can just be a good person in life. Are there option 4011 X-ray contracts available now? I don't know if currently. I don't know. You'd have to talk to a recruiter about that. So I couldn't tell you. Is that for Rangers to go into the Rangers? But probably. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like things have like chilled out better from like COVID, because I know it was pretty crazy with they're kind of backlogged on things and all sorts of stuff. But just call up our local recruiter and tell them that's what you're interested in. You're trying to get option 4011 X-ray, and see what they say. So I don't know, because that stuff fluctuates all the time. There's so much fluctuation with that where it'll change. Here we go. This is the really pressing question. How are you? I'm great. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm doing good. Do I play Arma? No. I've played the military version, which is VBS, Virtual Battle Space, because I used to teach. So I used to not teach soldiers, because you don't teach soldiers with it, but I used to operate the system to allow soldiers to do training with it. What are you talking about, Doug? Be a chisel chest, not a sizzle chest? All right. I'm at Fort Stewart. What do you know about it? I don't know anything about Fort Stewart. I've never been to Fort Stewart. Couldn't tell you anything. Not a damn thing. That's in Georgia, right? The only place I've been to in Georgia was Fort Benning, and it was for a very short amount of time. Not for very long. Can soldiers stationed in California smoke weed off base? No. I mean, that is even the case with Colorado, right? Fort Carson, Colorado, where Colorado marijuana is legal. But it does not matter where you're at. If it is legal or not legal, it is not federally legal. So it is illegal for soldiers, because you have to follow federal law. If one day they make it to where federally it's legal, then I'm sure you probably could, unless the Army does some kind of special thing to ban it from soldiers. But regardless of what state you're stationed at, where you're stationed at, if it's legal or not legal, because you're in the Army, you have to follow federal law, and federal law says that marijuana is illegal. So yeah, you'll still get kicked out and busted down and all sorts of crazy stuff. Can you create a video on Army World Class Athlete Program? I hope to at some point in time. We have a location on Fort Carson that trains those individuals, where you can do that program and stuff, but I don't know enough about it. I would have to do a lot more research. I'd have to try to get with someone. I have a friend who has a friend that I think is in it for wrestling. I forget what he's in it for, but he told me about that, and I need to find out, maybe try to link up with that person one day and try to like learn about it and learn how it works and how people can get selected for it. But for those of you who don't know what the Army World Class Athlete Program is, it's basically you can be in the Army, and if you are good enough, you can basically go from being 11 Bravo and 88 Mike, whatever your job is in the Army, to just now being dedicated to training for boxing or wrestling, and then you're on the Army's wrestling team, and you'll do like different little wrestling meets to represent the Army in these wrestling meets and whatever sports they have. I know they do boxing, they do wrestling. I think they'll do MMA. I think they do that, but they do combatives tournaments. It's not called MMA; it's combatives. I don't remember. I think they do basketball too, and then they do like basically like Olympic type of events. You know, like track and field and certain other things too. Does the Army make you sell any stock or crypto if joining? You have to send me all of your Bitcoin and Dogecoin before you can join. So just make sure that you get with me later so you can send it to my account. No, they don't. They don't care. They don't care that you do any of that kind of stuff or whatever. Is it worth it to be an officer? I'd go from enlisted to OCS. It depends on your goals. What are your goals in the Army? If you want to be that leader, you want to be that more of a higher supervisor type of position, you want to make better money, then, go for it, right? And you want to have more decision making kind of, choices. I do think that enlisted to OCS is a lot of times a better option to do because you get a better feel for what it's like at the enlisted level, and the enlisted soldiers will respect you more as an officer because they know that you've been through that, and you're not just some kid that came out of high school, went to college, and now you're in the Army bossing them around, right? They know that you've been down there with them doing the crappy details and doing the guard duty and everything else that they had to go through. So a lot of times I feel like that's a better route to go about doing it. Not necessarily for everybody, but I feel like those people do, in a lot of cases, get a lot of good respect because the soldiers can relate to them better. Turn in from Fort Wainwright, Alaska. Man, thanks for coming to hang out. Was it hope you can get to me? But I'm planning to go to the Army. What are the things I can do to get ready? I have a video on that, but one of the main things is just stay in shape, right? Make sure you train, work on your cardio, work on making sure that you can do that 2-mile run easily and everything else that's cardio based and everything and stuff. And you can study it for it and make it easier for basic training. I have a video, like I said, on preparing for basic training, so maybe check out that video out to get a little bit more insight on that. But the key thing usually is just making sure you're in good shape, especially cardio wise. Joey says I got a nephew and a grandson in the service now. Awesome, man. It's good to hear. Good stuff. Oh man, we got a Showtime saying, "Yo, Chris, I got badge blocked during EIB." What's being badge blocked? Does that mean you didn't make it, or I don't know is what that term actually is? Did you go through the EIB qualification course? Didn't make it? Have you seen the app? If you're saying that you did not pass EIB because you got badge blocked because you didn't make it through it. I did a video on it a couple weeks ago, a week ago, whatever it was, where this infantry officer made an app for people to utilize to study for EIB. And apparently it did really well with their platoon and everything, and it increased the passing rate. So if you don't know about that app, check that video because I can't remember what the app is called. But there's an app where you can actually prepare for the EIB by going through all the different drills and studying up on everything. And apparently a lot of people have said that it really helped them pass the EIB. You don't specifically get drug tested at Basic Combat Trainer AIT, but you will do a couple tests for various reasons. If you on drug, it will show. Yeah, sometimes it's random too. I don't remember doing any urinalysis or drug tests in Basic or AIT, but I've talked to some people that said they did. So it's hit or miss, but definitely your unit, you'll do a ton probably at your unit, especially if you're active duty. I don't know how active it is with reserves, how often you'll do urinalysis and drug tests, but active duty, I feel like we do it a lot. Should I tell my recruiter that I'm detoxing? I guess that's up to you. I don't know if it really matters to him. If you're talking about detoxing because you were using marijuana or other drugs or whatever recently, then you probably should wait to several months to make sure it's fully out of your system. Because if you go to MEPS and you come up hot for something, that can really screw stuff up to where you may be ineligible to join in the future, or maybe you have to wait another year. So it's kind of sketchy, right? It's kind of a tricky thing. Let me see. Holy hand grenade with a super chat from Holy Hand Grenade. You super chatted me just to tell me that Team Sports is here. Well, thanks for the super chat. I guess now we gotta highlight how freaking Luya. I can't even pronounce that. How freaking Luya, right? Team Sports in the house. If you guys are interested in joining the Army National Guard and you're in the New York-based area, that's the guy to hit up. Go hit him up. Tell him, listen here, Sergeant Swartz. I am not joining the Army National Guard unless you can guarantee me a $40,000 bonus, a 4 years college break, and a Camaro. You got to be strict with these guys, okay? He can do it. He'll try to tell you that he can't get you that Camaro, but he'll get you that Camaro. I'm just kidding. I don't know. He probably won't. Hopefully the Army has a cross-country team. I think they have like running stuff. I don't know if it's cross-country specifically. I have to look into that whole program thing. I don't know all the ins and outs of that fitness program that you can do. There you go. So for the EIB thing, right? It's when a grader doesn't treat you fairly. But yeah, I failed. Damn, that sucks, man. But yeah, definitely check out that app. Look for that. There was that app that apparently people were saying that really helped him pass EIB. Question, is there a test you need to take to get into the Army? If yes, what happens if you fail? You retake it. Yeah, there's ASVAB. You must be really new to how the process works for joining the Army. Yeah, because there's the ASVAB, well, they have the PCAT, and then if you do good enough on the PCAT, then you don't have to take the ASVAB. But yes, and then if you fail it, well, then you will get multiple tries. But I think, like, I know with the ASVAB, I don't remember how the PCAT works. I did the whole ASVAB thing because I did it in high school. But I know with the ASVAB, you get you can retake it, and you have to wait like 30 days, I think, to take it again. Then if you fail that one, then you have to wait another 30 days before you can take it. And then after so many, like after 3 tries or something like that, then you have to wait like a year or 6 months or something crazy before you can retake it again. I don't remember how it works with the PCAT, but talk to your local recruiter. You hit them up, you ask them, right? But yeah, you have the ASVAB. You gotta pass the ASVAB. Technically, there's like this ASVAB waiver thing, and there's usually limited slots of how many people they can give those waivers to, but don't count on that. Just pass the damn ASVAB or PCAT, whatever version you end up taking. Just pass it. You'll be good. I'm going to basic in September for 92 Yankee reserves. Do you know how reserves get gear after AIT? It'll come from your reserve unit. So you'll go and once you report to your reserve unit, then they have their own supply people and everything, and CIF gear. And sometimes it's really tricky. I've known people that came out of AIT, reported to their reserve unit, and they were like, we don't have the gear to give you right now. So they just went without gear for like months before they finally had the gear to be able to issue you. But yeah, it'll come through your reserve unit. At Fort Wainwright, they do UAs about bi-weekly or after federal holidays. Yeah, I mean, I remember always doing urinalysis right after like leave, after block leave, you would do it. Sometimes I remember sometimes doing it like 3 times a month, right? It was crazy. And then sometimes you had a couple months where you went out without it, and you're like, cool, we haven't done one in a while. Oh yeah, we get the stream to as many likes as possible. I was gonna do that like I did last time with that 100 likes goal. We'll go for 60. All right, we only have a couple more minutes left. So, like last time, if you weren't here for last time the stream, the goal we're gonna go with is 60 likes. If this stream ends and there's not 60 likes, you owe me 20 push-ups. Okay, that's the deal. Sorry, if you're already here, that's the deal. You better hit that like button, because if you don't, we don't get to 60. I was going to do 100, but I should have put it out earlier, so it's not your fault. I'll give you a break on that. 60 push-ups if we can't get this live stream to, or no, 20 push-ups, sorry, 20 push-ups if we can't get the stream to 60 likes. I was saying, did I watch the Scuttlebutt show gaming stream yesterday? I tuned in for a brief minute. I had stuff to work on. See, right here. Still waiting for my Camaro. So much to the army for the army benefits. I know, man. You got to just bug the crap out of those recruiters for that Camaro, man. I'm telling you, can't let them get by with not giving you that Camaro. Team Sports has got PCAT 1 time and doesn't have to be used for record. ASVAB 4 times with a waiting period between tests. There you go. That's the most official answer right there, right? A more official answer than what I can give you, because that guy right there is a current Army National Guard recruiter. So he would know better than old Chaos over here knows. There you go. There's the official answer right there, straight from a recruiter's mouth or screen, text, whatever. We got Robert, who's leaving this Sunday to Fort Leonard Wood. Man, good luck to you. Hopefully it goes well. Am I familiar with a D-Lab? I am not. No, I never took the language. That's the language test. I don't speak in other languages, so I have no business trying to take the D-Lab. But I don't. So I don't have no experience. Hey Chris, love your videos, man. The Army doesn't have the MOS I really want. What do you recommend? Also, does the ASVAB I took transfer to other branches? Yeah, I mean, as long as it's within a certain time frame. The ASVAB is the ASVAB. I don't know how easy it is for other branches. Like, I guess it depends on how you took the ASVAB, probably. Because if you took the ASVAB with an Army recruiter, I don't know if there's like a centralized system that your ASVAB scores show up on that like the Marines or whatever could pull it from. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that part. But as far as they don't have the MOS you really want, I mean, you gotta try to find something that's close to it. I guess I don't know what the MOS is that you want though, but you probably just have to try to find something that's close to it, or maybe something that maybe just sounds fun, something that sounds interesting, and maybe you can do the Army for say 6 years, 8 years, whatever. Get out and go to school for what you want to do. You know, use the Army as that stepping stone to kind of get you that college education, to get that experience and everything like that, and then really get into the MOS you want. But hopefully that helps you. We got a super chat from Team Swartz. Thanks for all you do. Your viewers, stay blessed. Wait, thanks for all you do for your viewers. Stay blessed. There we go. Say, well, thank you, man. Thanks for the awesome videos you do and helping me out with certain questions that I have probably no business answering, but I don't know the answers fully to, like recruiter type of questions. So thanks for the help in the chat. By the way, if you guys aren't subscribed to Team Swartz, by the way, recruiter related information and other stuff too. I mean, I'm sure too, but probably the only person I can think of that's currently making videos that's a recruiter that can tell you recruiter type of answers. So make sure you subscribe to that guy. He will fill you in all the answers and get you that Camaro too. Don't let him tell you otherwise. The 8 count push-up. I'll let you just do regular push-ups. What are we at? We're at 54. We're getting close to the end of the stream, guys. We're actually at the 1 hour mark, so you got to get ready for it. So we can't get the live stream to 60 likes. You guys got to knock out 20 push-ups when the stream's over. Sorry, it's how things go. Leaving Sunday for Fort Jackson. Well, good luck to you, Miles. Oh man, guys, Jim's late. Like really late. Missed a lot of stuff. Gave all the keys, the answers to everything. So you should have. You owe double push-ups probably now, Jim. Sorry, this is how things go. You need to take the SAT to join the Army or only GED? No, what? SAT's for college. Like so this gets tricky too. Like it's best just to have a GED or a high school diploma. There are waivers that you can get for if you don't have either of them, but usually recruiters only are limited to a certain amount of those waivers. But it's just better just to stay in school, kids. All right? that dang high school diploma or get that GED. I understand life happens. Get that GED. Do it that way, right? That's fine. It's cool. All is good, but don't rely on getting that waiver that they sometimes do. I do have a stream schedule. I don't know if one of the mods answered it, but every other Thursday, same time. Every other Thursday. That's what we kind of do. And then sometimes some random ones. If you're a member of the Discord channel, I'll post a link in the Discord channel sometimes. And yeah. And then I saw Team Sports said that he's also a drill sergeant too. So he's got like both recruiter and drill sergeant knowledge. Get that dude up. Shipping to basic June 1st, 19 kilo. Any tips? Well, don't expect to go to basic because you're going to OSIT. So don't make that mistake. But I don't know. I mean, you're going to go through OSIT. You're going to go through your tanker stuff. Join the Discord channel. I know there's a few people that are kilos in the Discord channel. Link in the description box down below, guys. And you can probably get some tips from them. Especially, I know one of our mods, Gunrunner, recently went through OSIT for 19 kilos. So if he's available, maybe he can give you some tips. He's not too busy, you know, sucking down there at Fort Hood. I just want to say that Carson was my dream assignment. I never got it. I was supposedly be the hardest place to get in the Army. I don't know if it's the hardest place to get in the Army. It's a great place to get stationed at. Italy is a pretty tough one to get stationed at. I know that one's a pretty tough one to get assignment to. I don't know what would be like some of the hardest ones. Some of them would probably be like smaller ones. Like Fort Huachuca is fairly difficult because there's only certain MOSs that are there. But your larger ones, Fort Carson, Fort Hood, Fort Benning, certain other ones, they have a vast majority of a lot of your common MOSs. So it's usually not too bad. But so close to 60 likes. We went backwards. I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the views, but we're at 62 likes. So there you go. You guys don't have to do push-ups. I think I was looking at the wrong thing earlier too when I was giving out the goal of 60. I probably could have made it higher. Who knows? There you go. Team Sports trying to smoke you guys. It's that drill sergeant in them, right? I say we knock out a push-up for each liked. Each liked. There you go. Okay, words are hard for me sometimes. I agree. I agree, Team Sports. You know, for those of you, if you're getting ready to ship off to basic training within the next, let's say 6 months, then I agree with Team Sports. And when this stream ends, however many likes there is, you gotta knock out that many push-ups. If you can't do them all at once, take a break. I'm cool with that. I'll be a little relaxed on you, right? But you gotta work on your push-ups probably if you can't knock them all out in one little session. But especially we're at 66 right now, right? 66 push-ups. I think that should be the goal. If you're getting ready to leave for basic training, maybe we should make that like a new thing, right? At the end of the streams, if you're someone who's getting ready to go off to basic or OSIT within 6 months from today, kind of a time frame, you got to knock out however many push-ups based on likes. And then if you're not going in that time frame, you're already in, then you have to knock out push-ups and we can't get to a goal. I don't know. You got to have fun. PT is free. I saw that from Team Sports. PT is free. We'll do a couple more. We're at an hour right now. We're gonna do a few more questions, and I'm gonna go backwards in the chat, see if there's maybe some good questions that maybe I skipped over, and then we'll be ending the live stream here pretty soon. So, what is it? Everybody chill on the Discord until they meet their platoon sergeant there. We don't. I need. You know, I was trying to do something kind of similar to that with. I was doing the Elite Discord channel. And I was going to make it to where we had like platoons and you had like platoon sergeants and all stuff like that. Maybe I should do that with just the regular Discord channel. Maybe I should get it kind of organized to where we can have platoons or companies or troops. We'll probably do troops because the majority of my Army career was in the Cav. Even though I'm not a Cav person, but I was in the Cav for the majority of my Army career. Maybe that'd be good to do like troop kind of related and maybe break down people into troops and platoons, all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think? Would that be kind of fun? Maybe I'll have to do that in the Discord channel. Let's see. We'll do this question here, and then I'm going to go backwards in the chat. Hey, Chris, thinking about enlisting when I turn 17. Any advice for me? Just get in shape. Make sure you're in good shape. You do a lot of research, a lot of videos, a lot of stuff online to kind of get a little bit of a heads up to know what to expect and maybe kind of prepare certain things, right? Learning your general orders. But the big thing I always tell everybody is making sure you got good cardio. Make sure you get in shape, good cardio. You'll be fine. And it'll work out great. And do your research, right? I got a cool video that'll be coming up, I think, next week. That'll be helpful to a lot of you guys that want to join sometime soon. So yeah, all right, I'm going to come backwards in the chat. Let me see if I can find a question that maybe I missed, and we'll try to answer it. By the way, if you asked a question and I missed it, hit me up on Instagram. Link in the description box down below. Send me a message. I'll either get back to you today, tomorrow, maybe next week, within a week usually, or less, and I'll do my best to answer your question that you may have for you. So make sure you do that. If I did not get to your question, you have something you still want to know, just hit me up on Instagram. Do I watch Yusha Thomas? I've seen some of his videos, but does he even still create videos still? I don't even know if he still creates videos still. Let's see. What was this one? Hi Chaos, I'm not from the US, so can I still get benefits, or do I have to get citizenship? So here's the trick. I get a lot of people from foreign countries that want to join the Army. The thing about that is you need a green card and you need to be a US resident. You don't necessarily have to be a citizen. There are certain MOSs that do require citizenship, especially if they require security clearances or you want to be an officer, things like that, certain things, right? But don't be expecting that you can join. Let's say you live in, I don't know, Europe, right? And you want to join the Army from Europe. I mean, I don't think they have U.S. recruiters there, like on the Army base. But usually, I'm pretty sure the standard is you have to be a U.S. resident. So you have to live in the United States. You got to move to the United States. You got to do it legally. Then talk to a recruiter and see what your options are. You don't necessarily have to be a U.S. citizen, but for certain MOSs, you do. So you're going to need to live in the U.S. Let's see, maybe one more. Let me see, we got anything else? We'll go with this one, I guess. Are service members being forced or pressured into taking the COVID vaccine? I mean, I've heard of stories of certain units that kind of use tactics to kind of make it seem like it. Not all, so don't think that it's, you know, Army-wide type of thing. I've seen certain things where they're kind of just making it a little bit of an inconvenience for those that decide not to get the vaccine right now. Because I've heard stories that there are some units that are like requiring you to be vaccinated before you can go and leave. I've heard of. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard some stories where they're kind of doing that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, in some cases, yes. I don't think it's Army-wide, but there are some cases where I am hearing rumors and stuff that some units are kind of pressuring soldiers into that. And then I did see Team Sports, by the way, before I get to Super Chat. We got Super Chat. But right there, Army recruiter right there. Must be a green card holder right there, right? So you got to be a green card holder before you can join. So I did know that part, but and I'm pretty sure, I think, don't you also have to be a resident too? So you have to be living in the United States. I don't think you just get a green, can you just get a green card but still live in your other country? Does the Army send you over so you can go to basic training? I don't think so, right? You think you have to be a resident, right? So, and then Super Chat. Last Super Chat says nothing. This last Super Chat says nothing. Okay, all right. Well, thanks, VGMR. You rock. Appreciate the Super Chat, my friend. couple of questions before we end up the live stream here. We'll do a couple questions and we'll end it. Like I said, hit me up on Instagram. If you're not a member of the Discord channel, the link is down in the description box down below. You can hit up other individuals that are currently in the military, and you can chat with them, have a good time in the Discord channel, and sometimes you can get some good advice from inside of there. So. I'm PV2. Do I hit PFC in 1 year of service? Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I just recently did a video on that. You can also look it up if you really wanted to, of what the automatic promotion criteria is, because I don't have that crap memorized off the top of my head. But you look up my recent video that I did of an updated version of it explaining enlisted rank, I have in there what the time limit is for automatic promotions for enlisted soldiers. There we go. See? Must be lived in the U.S., correct? Yeah. So see? Thanks for coming to hang out. Team Sports, you rock, man. Appreciate it. How do those 09 Lima translators get enlisted? They seem like foreigners. Yeah, so they're people that live in the United States, though. So they usually only target specific languages, though. It's not like anybody. They usually are looking for like Middle Eastern type of languages, you know, like Iraq, you know, like Pashto, Arabic, Dari, certain other languages that are kind of what they want for those translator MOSs. But they are looking for people that are from those countries and live in the United States still, or are willing to move to the United States and get a green card, I guess, or whatever. But yeah, those people still need to live in the United States. But yeah, and they also need to be natives to that country, not just someone who went to college and learned how to speak that language or whatever the case was. So yeah. Let's see, maybe one more good question. Look for one more good question when we're in the live stream. Man, for those of you, if you guys really actually follow through and stick with it, with my whole thing of like how many likes we end on, and you're getting ready to go to base training the next 6 months, you got to do that many push-ups. 70 push-ups so far. Hey, maybe it helps you out. I don't know. Do we have one more good question that maybe someone wants to ask? I guess we'll just see. Here we go. Hey Chris, how many miles should I need to run to build my cardio? So like if you're trying to build your cardio, start off with what you can do. Work your way up to easily being able to do 2. When you can easily do 2, it'd be best if you could probably easily do 6. I would say it would probably be a good thing to shoot for, but you got to go at your pace, kind of to an extent, to not like injure yourself, to not overdo it, and all that. But you know, depending on what your current state is, right? If you try to work out a mile, right, then work up to 2 miles. And once you get to 2 miles, then go for 4 miles, then go to 6 miles. But probably ideally work your way up to something like being able to do not necessarily a fast pace, but like a nice good jogging pace for 6 miles would probably be a pretty darn good. I mean, you probably even could downgrade that down to 4 miles and probably be all right too, but definitely more than 2, right? 2 is a good one to kind of work your way up to, and then once you get a good baseline of being able to have the good enough cardio to be able to run 2 miles with no problem, then probably shoot a little higher because you want to do more than that to build a good cardio base, and then you shoot for 4 or 6, I would say. So somewhere's around there. That's probably a good one right there, between 4 and 6 miles, somewhere's in that kind of time frame. Or mileage range or whatever there. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming to hang out. If you didn't like the stream already, make sure you hit that like button, because the goal is those individuals that are going to basic trainer OSIT in the next 6 months, they should be knocking out as many push-ups as whatever likes we got inside of here to help get ready and motivate them. All right, awesome. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I have links down in the description box down below for the Discord channel that I highly recommend. My Instagram, working on my Instagram game, guys. Help me get more Instagram followers, right? If you're not, for whatever crazy reason, not subscribed to this channel, you're here hanging out in my live stream, go subscribe. We got to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year. We got to make it happen. I can't do so without you. Tell your friends. Go log into your mom's YouTube account and, you know, hit subscribe. And your dad's YouTube account, hit subscribe. Your brothers, sisters, everybody's hit subscribe. We got to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this year, and I can't do it without your guys' help. So thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. Hopefully you had a good time. If you had questions, send them to me over on Instagram. Try to do my best to answer them. We'll be back again every other Thursday. Every other Thursday is when we try to do these live streams. So not next Thursday, following Thursday. Actually, maybe. I think we're still doing that Thursday. I think it might be the live stream after that I won't be able to do, because I'll be doing crazy night shifts for a military exercise. So I won't be able to do a live stream during that time frame, where we have to do it in the day. I don't know. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys rock. I will see you guys next time. See ya.